Okay, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Mel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So today's video, I wanted to do a collaboration of a whole bunch of different concealers. So I've been creating this video for quite some time, trying to gather my thoughts on all sorts of different concealers and how they work, the different formulas, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. So this is what this video is today. So if you're curious to see which concealers I liked the best, then let's get into the video. So this video has been kind of a work in progress. I wanted to do a thorough review of a bunch of different concealers. So I'll show them all to you. There they are. So these are concealers that I've had for quite some time, some of them. And there is one brand new one that I was quite surprised how well it's worked. So I can't wait to show you guys that one. So to start off, I'm going to show you some pictures. I've done some pictures when I first put it on. Some of them will have just one layer of product. Others will have 2 layers of product, depending on the consistency of it. I also did, at the end of the day, pictures for you so you can kind of get a test of how that looks. So I'll just kind of forewarn you, there's going to be some pictures that I'm going to say are not the most flattering pictures of me. But again, that's me putting myself out there. You know that when I do my videos, if you've watched them before, when I come on camera, I am raw. There is no filter on my camera. There is nothing. I don't use that. I think it's called Facetune or something like that. I don't use any of that. So what you see is what you get. So a lot of these pictures will be just, this is me. As I am, and how well the concealer worked. So different variables for these concealers are I always use an eye cream. I use an eye cream day and night, and I have a very dry under eye area, so that's really important for me. So when you're using concealers, if you have a dry under eye, that's really, really important to make sure that it's hydrated. And I try to use concealers that are a little bit hydrating, but again, when you're testing things and you read a package and it says this about it, you try and believe that, but again, I try and use products and test them for myself. I always like to gather my own information. With each concealer, I also did not use a color corrector. If you watched again my videos before, I do always use a color corrector underneath my eyes. And I did a video a while back where I show how to cover under eye circles. I have very dark under eye circles, and that's just hereditary for me. I was born that way. There's nothing really I can do about it. So I do like to color correct, and that seems to help neutralize the purple under my eyes. Another thing that I also do is I always use primer under my eye. So I've been using this one here. This is just the Maybelline Master Prime, and this is in Blur and Smooth. I was using the NYX Angel Veil, and I do still use that one as well. But this one I really, really like because it's like a lotion. So when you're putting it on, it just really sinks into the skin and just gives a really nice smooth finish. So this is my favorite for using under my eyes. And another thing that I do is I always set under my eye. Now some people can just put concealer on in your makeup and go about your day. I'm one of those people that I really need to set under my under eye. I usually use so I've used the same setting powder. It's usually the Maybelline Fit setting powder. And because that is just like a really dry powder. It doesn't need to be, I have another one that I like, but it's luminous, and I don't want to put any luminosity under my eyes to accentuate those lines. So I always set my eyes, and I use just a little sponge. You've seen it on my videos before. I just use a little sponge with the powder and set my under eyes. One thing to keep in mind when you are doing under your eyes, I have a lot of creasing right under my eyes here. So make sure if you do get concealer that kind of gets into your creases, make sure to kind of smooth those out before you set the powder on them, or it won't settle very well. So that's one of those little tricks to use. Make sure that before you use your powder that you're making sure that everything is just nicely smoothed out for you. So let's get into the concealers. Now I'm not going to say that these are from worst to best. I don't think that's fair to some of these concealers because everybody's preference is different. So what may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So some of these products may be great for other people. They just didn't work for me personally because everybody's skin is different. I have very dry under eyes. Some people may not have that dryness. Everybody's skin is textured differently. Everybody has a different skin tone. So again, what may not work for me or somebody else may think that that's great. So just keep that in mind as we're going through these. So the first one I'm going to start off with is the e.l.f. So this is the 16-hour camo concealer, and I have this in the shade medium peach. So it just has a little doe foot applicator. And I'll put some on my hand. I'll test all of these on my hand. This is actually quite light. It's probably a little bit too light for me. But it's a very thick consistency. You can see that. But it does blend in quite nicely. So keep in mind, these will all be Canadian prices. So this one retails for about $7. And I did have to apply, I'll start inserting the pictures here. I did have to apply 2 layers with this one. It comes in 18 shades. It's full coverage. So this one is quite highly pigmented, but it is lightweight. So I did like that feature about it. And it does dry matte. So if you don't like a really dry looking under eye area, then you probably don't want this one. But I really did like it. It camouflaged really, really well. Hid those dark circles. But the only thing I did find with it is that it was on the drying side. One of these was compared to the Tarte Shape Tape. So I don't have that one here in Canada. So I don't know how that one works exactly. But this one is a bit drying under the eye. But what I did like about it is that it didn't settle into my crease area. So I did really, really like that part. Yeah, that was good. Okay, so the next one we're going to go into is the Annabelle. This is Perfect Concealer. This is a Canadian brand. And it does have a wand. It's not a doe foot applicator, but it does have a wand to it. And it's a nice creamy texture. Not too thick, but it does blend in really nicely. I was surprised by this actually because it is such a good price. So this one is $7.99. As you'll see in the pictures, I did have to put on 2 layers to kind of get, you can build it up, which is nice. The only thing that I found with this one is it did accentuate my fine lines by the end of the night, and it settled into my creases a little bit. So this one, for the coverage, the color was really, really nice. But yeah, I didn't like that feature where it just kind of accentuated my lines. And I do have this in the shade medium, which was probably, I would have probably tried to get a different color, maybe a shade lighter. It does come in 6 shades. So this one doesn't have a great shade range. This was kind of at the bottom of my list. But again, it's just, these are all my opinions. So if it works for somebody else, then keep on using it. Okay, so the next one we're going in with is the Revlon Candid. This one is has a little bit of a yellow undertone for it, which is not bad actually for when you have dark circles. That actually helps them quite a bit. So this has a different kind of a wand to it. It's kind of a doe foot applicator, I guess. And again, nice and creamy, not too thick. Yeah, just a really nice consistency. It does have a nice coverage to it. Now this retails for about $10.99. And I did have to apply 2 layers under my eye to, again, build up the coverage for myself. It has a medium coverage. And some of the claims for it, when I actually went onto the website, because I wanted to kind of find out a little bit more about this one, it says it has caffeine to help wake up the tired skin. It's great for sensitive skin. It has no fragrance to it. And it's protective, antioxidant, anti-pollution, anti-blue light ingredients. It comes in 18 shades. But what I found by the end of the night is this one was wearing off more than some of the other ones. So that one, again, kind of at the bottom of my list for ones that I personally liked. Again, somebody else might like it, and that's great. It just wasn't working for me. Okay, the next one is the Maybelline Fit. So I have these in 2 shades. I have this one in light, and I also have this in sand. So I use these ones as more of a spot concealer for myself. By that I mean I'll use it usually on my brown spots here if I just want to kind of diminish them for the day. So I actually used this one this morning. But again, it's fragrance-free. It has a doe foot applicator. And it's, again, quite a lightweight consistency. And it blends nicely. This one's more of, if I'm going to call it, more of a natural concealer. So I find it more kind of on the light side, light to medium, than some of these other ones that are kind of a medium to full coverage. So this one, if you don't have like a lot of pigmentation under your eyes, this would be great for you because it is a really good concealer. So this one retails at about $10.99 and it comes in 12 shades. And for this one, I just had to use one coat. Again, I don't usually use it right underneath my eye unless I'm having like a good day with my eyes, which is very, very rare. But yeah, so I've used this one mostly for spot treating and that sort of thing. So, but by the end of the night, it was not bad. I did use it under my eyes that day that I was testing. Again, not a bad coverage, but there is still a little bit of the pigmentation peeking through. So. I know this is like a cult favorite for some people, so it is a great, Maybelline always has great products. So the next ones I'm going to show you, I have two different types of the NYX. So I didn't want to do two different kind of segments for NYX. So what I did was I put the NYX HD on one side, and I put the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop on the other side. So I'll show you just a little bit for each one. Now this one is way too light. I use this one as more of a highlighter. Light ivory is this color, and then I also have it in the shade vanilla. So the vanilla I'll use under my eyes. And then in the HD formula, I have this, it just says CW02. So I'm not sure what color that is. It's more on the light side. So I'll just show you each one. So this is the HD. It has a doe foot applicator. And again, it's just more of a really lightweight. It's not very creamy. So there's that one there. And then I'll swatch so this one again, another doe foot applicator on that, the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This one is a little bit thicker. So I like this one for that purpose. Now the claims when I went onto the website, it says it comes in 24 shades. Now I'm not sure if that is just strictly on the website because I don't think I can get those many colors in the store that I buy them. So it retails for about $11.99. Lightweight, full coverage. I wouldn't say that so much about the Can't Stop, Won't Stop is definitely more of a full coverage. This does drive down to a matte finish. The claim is that it will last for 24 hours. So I mean, I personally will never wear a concealer for 24 hours. I don't have my makeup on that long. So I can't put that to the test. I have worn, so when I'm showing you the evening pictures, the night pictures that I insert, that is about 12 hours. So I either wore it for 12 hours or more, but I always tried to keep that range for you guys. And the other claim for the Can't Stop, Won't Stop is that it won't transfer onto, I guess, clothing and stuff like that. So the HD, this one here, is lightweight, comes in about 9 shades. It says that it doesn't leave a cakey feel, and it's medium to heavy coverage. Now, I don't see that personally with this one. I don't, for myself, it didn't work that way for me. So I have in the picture, I'll have Can't Stop, Won't Stop. It will be on the left, and the HD is going to be on the right side. And so by the end of the night, you can kind of see it. It has the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I do like that. I think that stayed on really well throughout the day, and it did last longer than the HD formula. So I did really like that. And again, with having the 2 shades, the vanilla I use as a highlighter, which I think is really great for highlighting. And then this one I use under my eye area. I did have to apply 2 layers of the NYX products, just for a reference that I did have to build that one up as well. Okay, so we're getting down to the final few. The next one I'm showing you is the Revolution, and this is called Conceal and Define. And again, it's a doe foot applicator. And this one is more of a thicker consistency, but it does blend really, really nicely. Now this one retails for about $9.99, and it says it comes in about 50 shades. Now I know I can't get that many in the store, so that must be like an online thing. So That's if you're looking for a specific shade. So this one, it just says C7. So I'm not sure exactly what shade that is. All of theirs are a number. They're not an actual like light or medium or that sort of thing. So I'm not exactly sure what color this is. It's lightweight, but full coverage. It does have a matte finish. But what I found about it is it's extremely pigmented. So I didn't need a lot of this. I went on and I applied it. And then I put just a tiny bit of a second layer on, and I found that gave me great coverage. Now, as I'm talking to you guys, I think this is the one that was actually the dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I think this is the one, if I'm remembering correctly. It did leave me with a bit of a dry under eye, but it settled somewhat into my creases, not a lot. So there was a little bit of settling, but again, it depends on how much product you're also putting under your eye. Like if you're putting a whole bunch of product under there, you are probably going to get some settling and creasing in there. So always watch how much you're putting under your under eye area. And some of the claims for this is evens your skin tone and counteracts dark circles. And it says that it won't settle into your fine lines and pores, but I did find it did have a little bit of settling. So that's just my take on that. And this retails for about $9.99. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is a new concealer for me. I splurged a little bit on this one. So this is the Lancome, and I know I'm probably going to butcher the name, so excuse me in advance. Efficence, I think it's called. So this one retails for about $41 Canadian. But I had heard such good things about this one that I just had to try it for myself, and I kind of included it in as a last minute thing in with these ones here. So I've been using this one. I bought it about a month ago, so I have been testing it throughout the month. I haven't been using it every day, but I have been testing it. So the claims are it has extracts of cornflower and chamomile in it. Light diffusing technology, conceals dark circles, fine lines, and shadows for even looking skin tone. Waterproof formula, anti-free radical protection. It says that it comes in 13 shades, so I'm really liking this one. It comes in like a little squeezy tube, but you don't need, I know the cost sounds like a lot, but you don't need a lot of this one, like some of these other concealers that I've shown you. So I just use basically a little pea size, if even that, like seriously, like that much. And I've been, like when I dab it on my finger, and then I just run my fingers together and apply it with my fingers. I find that's the best way for this one is to use your fingers, and the warmth of your fingertip just kind of melts it into your skin. But it's thick. I mean, it is quite a thick concealer, but it just blends so nicely, and the coverage is incredible. It's just amazing. So I've been really, really liking this one. A new favorite of mine. And what you'll see in the pictures, so again, keep in mind some of these pictures, by the end of the night, I've got eyelashes falling off and everything. So we're just going to get close and personal. But you can see, so this was just one layer. I only had to use one layer, but you can build it up if you need a little bit more coverage. I found that was enough for me. I'm actually wearing that concealer today, but I did use a little bit of color corrector today. So I had my Lee Swatche Peach color corrector. I used that today, and it just gives you a flawless finish. So I really, really am liking this one. I liked how by the end of the night there was a little bit of settling into my lines. I don't think I'm ever going to find a concealer that won't settle into like accentuating my lines and that sort of thing. But it is what it is. As your skin gets older, that's just what happens. So this one I find did that the least. So that is going to be, I think, right up there with my go-to products. So I forgot to mention to you guys what shade this is in the Lancome. This is in the shade 250 Light Bisque. So last but not least, and I know you've been waiting for it, is the Maybelline Age Rewind. So this is by far my holy grail concealer. This is my absolute favorite. And I didn't plan it this way. Like honestly, I was using all of these. I was testing them. I was trying to find something that is as good as this one. But I couldn't find something that was as the Lancome. I will say the Lancome is coming in as a new favorite, but for the price, this you can't go wrong with the Maybelline. So this one retails for $12.99. I only had to apply one coat of this. It's a very creamy texture. So a lot of people don't like you can tell I've been using it. This is what people don't like about it. The sponge tip, a lot of people don't like that, and how it just gets the cap all dirty and stuff. But you know what? I kind of go by that, whatever. You can, because what you do is you twist up the top. You can see it's well used. I'm almost out. So you twist up the top. It comes out the top here, and it's a very, very creamy texture, but the coverage is just phenomenal. This I have in the shade Neutralizer. You can get a whole bunch of different shades, but look at how that just blends in so nicely. It is just such a good concealer. But yeah, this comes in apparently in 16 shades. I don't think I can get that many shades in the store. I don't know whether that's something you can order online. I don't know. I think they upped their shade range last year sometime, because there was only at some point, there was only a few, and I always gravitated to the Neutralizer. I find that just worked for me the best. But I know you can get it in a whole bunch of different shades now. But yeah, this is just such a nice creamy texture. It is a bit thick. But again, that means for me that I don't have to use as much. You can build it up, and blending it in, sometimes you just kind of have to work at it a little bit. I will use my fingertips first, and then I just use a little bit of the sponge just to kind of blend it out on the ends. It lasts all day. It is super concentrated. It has a little bit of radiant look under there, and I think that's because I'm just reading here, it's the goji berry and halaxyl, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's really, really good. So really like this one here. So yeah, this is by far my holy grail of concealers. So that is my whole range of concealers for you guys. I hope you found this helpful. I have used so many concealers over my lifetime because I have such dark circles. So these were just ones that I have had over the last, I don't know, few months. And the ones that I've recently purchased, I've tried to use more consistently just to kind of give you guys a good test for it. So I hope you found this really helpful. I really enjoyed making it. This has kind of been a work in progress. Keep in mind, I am not a professional makeup artist, so how my technique is, it may not be, you know, the professional way, but this is what works for me. I'm going to have a video coming up. I don't know when that's going to be. I wanted to keep 2 concealers out of this because there are a couple of concealers that I know came out a while ago, but apparently they're quite comparable to each other. So I want to do almost like a little dual video for those 2. So if you're interested to see what those are, make sure you're subscribed. And I don't know exactly when I'm going to have that coming out, but it'll be within the next few weeks. So just make sure you're subscribed to that. As always, I'm always going to have some videos at the end here for you guys. If you haven't done so already, please check them out. And I hope everybody has a great week and a great life. And I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!